I don't know between him and Maddie. With Maddie, I feel like I'm starting to feel butterflies and passion even. And Jonathan is very comforting. He would be the rational and balanced choice.
Y'all got me on this Love is Blind France, and I'm stressed, bro. I'm stressed. Y'all got me on this thing. Y'all gonna have to pay. So let me just have a real conversation about this Love is Blind situation. Okay. So I want to be honest, the ladies are the problem here. Okay. In this season, the ladies seem like to be a problem. And I know I'm only 2 episodes in, there's still a few more episodes I need to watch. But right now, from episode 1 to 2, the ladies are a problem. But let me just say this real quick. First and foremost, can we talk about the fact that old girl wanted to was getting a little bit etchy. What's her name? Cindy was getting stressed about the fact that my man might be short. And what, we're not going to say nothing? We don't think it's a problem when a woman says, oh, I'm scared about the fact he's short. But when somebody says, oh, I think she might be overweight, we're going to have an issue? No, I'm going to stress this point because y'all going to hear me today. We are not going to get stressed about men saying that they may feel like somebody's overweight and have a massive issue. Oh, he's this, he's shallow, he's this, he's a narcissist, da 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 da. But when someone says someone's short, we're going to be like, oh, sis, we get it. We understand. It's Love is Blind, but so sis, I understand because you're 6'4" and you need someone who's the same height as you, darling. No, you came onto Love is Blind and you've been telling everybody you're from Congo, you're telling everyone you're African. In this show, everybody tells everybody what their origin is, so it's not a thing. But like, we have to have a conversation about that. You know what I'm saying? True, like the double standard that we have about women saying about height and stuff, and no one says anything, but because someone's overweight, we're gonna have a stress. I thought I said stretch marks. Let's be chill. So that was one issue that was interesting as well. Also, her connection with Maddie as well also blew my mind because the thing was her and Maddie got on really, really well at the beginning. They're both Christians. You know, it seemed like they were getting on really well in terms of emotional connection. The vibe was correct. Everything seemed to be going correctly. And then they had this conversation. The conversation that blows everything out of the water. What was that conversation? Well, the conversation was about possessiveness, which she actually did mention. And I was a little bit like, oh, when she mentioned possessiveness, I said, Whenever you hear someone say obsessed or possessive, my friends, you should also run. Now, do I believe that he handled it the way he needed to? Yes, he did. Yes, he was stressed because what he felt was once she said possessive, that's going to be an issue. Now, should he have addressed it beforehand? Probably. Because that would have been easier, right? But I get it. Once he heard the fact that, that she was possessive, you've got to be aware you need to run. Any girl that tells you is obsessive or possessive, you don't need to give any excuses to. Run now. I'm telling you, run now. Don't give them a chance. Don't give them a sniff. Get running now. I said the same thing for the man them too. Every time somebody uses the essive word with people, they usually are the essive type of people, blood. Yeah? They usually are those very same people. Oh, I'm a little bit possessed. No, darling, don't need to be possessive. I'm a little bit upset. Hey. Bring it down a notch. We're out. Okay? So I understood why my man said he had to go. What's the name? Maddie? I understood. You know, man said, listen, previous relationships, I've had toxic relationships in the past. I don't want to be triggered again. I got it. Now, my only thing is that he's very intent on freedom. And what it sounded like was you want to just do whatever you want to do. That's my only issue I had with Maddie. I said, the way you're perpetrating it, it sounds like you want absolute freedom to do whatever you want. I guess it's probably the wording that they used. Maybe in French to English translation, some words got lost in there. But for me, I was like, okay, you're discussing boundaries, or you're discussing the fact that you are talking about you're discussing boundaries, or you're talking about you want freedom. You get what I'm saying to you? So for me, I was like, this you got to be very careful of that. That's all I'm saying. I don't mind. I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right about the fact that you don't want it to be possessive, but you got to be aware, my guy, that you saying, I want my freedom, I want to be as free as possible. I'm like, you're not going to be free. You're in a relationship. There is no freedom in a relationship to just do whatever you want to do. You know, as if you want to, if that's what you're looking for, but it sounds like you might be in the wrong show. Just saying, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So let's keep it a buck. Let's really keep it a buck about our good sis, Cindy here. Cynthia. Is it Cindy here? Cindy here. Her and Jonathan.
Be going the whole time. And I hope I can make up for the.
Her and Jonathan, let's be honest, we're not buying it. I'm not buying it. Okay, I was never buying it from the very beginning. First and foremost, sis, you out here talking about you are Christian. You're all down for the Lord and Jesus, our personal savior. Can I sell you some cookies? You're all down for him. This is a compatibility issue again that people keep doing this. And desperation has a what? I tell you what, desperation has a what? It has a sound. I've told you this several times. Now, when Cindy decides that she's going to go after Jonathan because it didn't work out with Maddie, okay, all right? And Jonathan tells us that he goes to church sometimes and he prays sometimes, and basically he's a part-time Christian. That's what he really is. That's what it sounded like. I'm a sometimes Christian. At that point, sis, unless you are sometime Christian too, you need to be saying, you know what? I appreciate the honesty. Thank you very much. I'm going to take my leave. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, I'm looking at it and I'm going, my brother's told you, listen, he's a sometimes Christian, a sometimes church Christian, a sometimes read my Bible and pray Christian. And you out here wanting to accept that, thinking that's going to be a man's going to lead you. And I said, no, sis, you're going to end up leading that man, complaining about it in a few years' time about how he don't lead you spiritually. And also we had a conversation about finances. Oh, girl, you don't say I'm from Congo and, you know, I'm all about the man providing. And at one point, you almost said, I don't even want to see a joint account. I said, You don't know this man was talking about finances in the pods. I know you don't know, but he was talking to the man them in episode 1 about finances. So I already knew that's going to be a no-go. That's going to be a no-go. It's going to go left. Quef. It's going to go left. That financial talk with Cindy and him, I said, that ain't gonna go well. Okay, that ain't gonna go well. So again, she's somebody who self-betrayals. Now, because of her fear of abandonment, which she told us about her family, I'm gonna do a separate video for her. But because she told us about her parents died, I think later in her life, around about 18 or something like that, right? So the fear of abandonment has captured her. So that fear of abandonment means that sometimes what you're doing is you are going to try and hold on to people that you don't need to hold on to. You're going to try and be with people that you need not be with, because your level of value is based upon people wanting you around rather than you having value within yourself. You need to be wanted. You need to be liked. And because of that need to be wanted and liked, which by the way is a human trait, by the way, to a certain extent, of what we need, but because you want it so bad, you're willing to abandon your own principles, and that self-abandonment leads to betrayal by other people in relationships. You see, other people can smell the self-betrayal on you, and they are normally betrayers who are willing to betray you. Oh, we just want to smell self-abandonment. When they smell a self-abandonment, they come in like sharks, do. And they are ready for you. This is why you're going to keep meeting liars and people that take advantage of you. Now, I need Cynthia to pack it up by yesterday. Pack it up by yesterday. Okay? Pack it up by yesterday. When I saw her, she is a fine-ass babe. What? When I saw her, I said, I might cross the seas myself. You understand? The France is only what? An hour and a bit away from us. Maybe 2. You know what I mean? I'll cross the channels right now, rude boy. Fine thing. But this mindset, darling, if you don't fix up, it don't matter how fine the body is. It don't matter how fine the face is. Baby girl, if the mind ain't matching, we're going to have a problem. I need you to raise the level. Raise the level. Okay? Raise the level. Marriage is not that important that you're willing to self-abandon your own needs. I need to fix up now, quickly. Be fast with it. Don't waste time. You understand what I'm saying to you? Okay? Let's talk about this one here, because I ain't going to lie to you. And this is me being problematic. I ain't going to lie to you. This is me being problematic.
I'll learn it and I'll teach it to you. This guy's ambitious.
The guy has plans, long-term plans, right?
All right, let's quickly talk about the other triangle. Tatiana, okay, Tatiana and old boy, what's his name, bro? Why is his name gone out of my head? Tatiana and is it Yanu? What's his name? Lou. Tatiana and Lou. Okay, cool. Let me talk about Lou first and foremost. Why is it that a lot of the women that he was talking to, they were showing white women? I just want to say that, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna play with you, I ain't gonna hold you. But all the women that were showing him in those little cut scenes quickly were all white women, and that's intentional. They did that intentionally, not because they want to get at him, but because, bro, that's probably the kind of woman he actually likes. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I want to be fair, okay? When I saw that, I was a little bit like, oh my days, don't do it, Luke. please don't do it. But that's my prejudice coming through. You know what I'm saying to you? All right, cool. But he seems to be a very deep kind of person. He wants connection on a deep level. Anything else kind of bores him, which I understand again once more. And obviously, you know, his connection with you know, that girl is cool. You know, I won't talk too much about that. But I want to talk about Tatiana, okay? Because unfortunately, Tatiana got done dirty. Let me tell you this now, but she got done dirty. But Tatiana showed her cards too early. I can't wait to do a video separately on this. How Kim used dark arts on the highest level I have ever seen in my entire life on a reality TV show. Oh my days. If it was a kung fu movie, and I'm probably being a bit prejudiced when I say that, if it was a kung fu movie, my girl gave her the pa pa pa, gave Tatiana the pa pa pa, and Tatiana was out for the count, straight up, because Tatiana tried it first. She went to Kim, tried to come with a, I'm coming to you as a woman. No, you weren't. You were coming to try and shake down your opponent. Let's be honest about he wanted to tell me he wanted to fight for me. She doesn't need to know that. Why does she need to know that? Because you wanted her to get disheveled. You wanted to you wanted to use a power move at that time. And baby girl, she gave it a pa, pa, pa. You never seen that one coming, did you? From around the way, okay? That three-piece combo came with extra sauce. Okay, now let me tell you why I'm saying this in a second or two, but let me focus on Tatiana. I like Tatiana, very pretty woman, you know, and you know she got a child, so her and old boy Thomas were going to connect, right? And this is why I'm glad she took some accountability, because she does need to take accountability. Okay, the accountability is that really and truly, if you really deep it, that first episode when they were talking about their connection, I said, you ain't got a connection. What you got is a bunch of coincidences. And people do this as well. We're the same star sign. Oh, your mother's birthday is the same as my mother's. Oh my God, it's meant to be. And I'm like, no, shut up, blood. It's not meant to be. Like, focus. Well, that's not compatibility. Our mums have got the same birth date. Oh my God, we're born in the same month. Oh, you know, I came from the same city. Like, those are just coincidences. Those are, we shouldn't say coincidence. Those are minute details that are not important to actual relationship. The question is, are you compatible? And had you been paying attention, you wouldn't have had Kim just snip him from underneath your nose. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. Now, Kim was putting work in. You have to understand, yeah, Kim is competitive. I don't know what happened in her childhood, but Kim, you know what it is? It's poverty. Yeah, no, poverty will do that to you. Kim, her parents obviously opened up a restaurant, she said, an Asian restaurant, and I'm telling you, poverty will make you competitive. That woman said, I will win at all costs. I don't care. So when Tatiana came into the girls' lounge talking about Thomas told me he wants me to fight for him and try to out him in that way, right? Rather than just keeping and taking her L in silence. No, she tried to flip the script on Kim. Did not know that Kim was another level, blood. Yeah. So obviously, Tatiana says to Kim, oh, but you know, he did say I have to fight for him, blah, blah, blah. Kim was like, all right, okay, cool. Now, Kim is a cold piece of work. Now, we need to talk about Kim, okay? And when I do my separate breakdown, you're going to see the dark horse I'm talking about. Kim is a different type of work you ain't seen before in your lifetime. Let me tell you how cold she is, okay? Let me tell you how cold Kim is. And I don't care what she says, Kim is a dirty player, bro, because this was cold work.
No, she said Thomas.
Which guy do you prefer?
I'm on a second. He's my number 2. You're still my number 1.
Okay.
Now, she downright knew she weren't talking. She knew she weren't talking to Thomas. You talk through a damn wall. All you've got is their voice. You're telling me you didn't know that it wasn't Thomas and you didn't know it was Clement. Get the frick out of it. You're lying. You already knew when you walked into that room. Now, I know they don't get told, but you would. She's not dumb. She's a very smart woman, right? She's looking for a man that's very ambitious. She's looking for a man that is on his game, because she's always on her game. And she's not dumb. No. Kim is very smart. You know what, Kim? Let me explain the manipulation that she used in this moment to collect Thomas in a way that Thomas never saw coming. And by the way, if they ever get together for long term, she's gonna manipulate him all the time. because Thomas doesn't see it coming because he's not a very strong man. So let me just highlight the manipulation of what happened, just in case you didn't see it. Okay, she comes into a room, doesn't bother to ask if it's Thomas or Clement, and starts talking about, I need to talk to you because, you know, I heard some information, you know, I heard that you spoke to Tatiana, and Tatiana is saying that you said I should fight for her, I need to know now, what's your viewpoint? Clement's like, wait, hold on a minute, what's going on here? Clement thinks he's got something. He's asking questions. Okay, he's asking questions, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, then she's like, oh my God, is this not Thomas? Oh my God, no, it's Clement. Oh, did she look sad that she said that Clement's a number 2? Not even close. Did she even look sad when she told that man to the wall that you're my number 2, and said it in a way that basically was actually that I thought it was Thomas, so I told the wrong information. Oh no, sis, we ain't gonna play that game. I'm grown round here. We ain't gonna play that game round here. So this is why it's important to pay attention to what Kim did. Why is it manipulation? I'll tell you why. First and foremost, once she says this to Clement, she downright knows that information is going right to the boys' round. Okay, right now this is how you have to think about this. The information is going to go right back to where? The boys' lounge. So Clement can, if Clement gonna say something, he's gonna at least say something to one person. That's all it needs. He doesn't need to say it straight to the man. He only needs one person to say it to. Number 2, it's on camera that she made a mistake, right? So later on, if she's with Thomas, and she can actually say, "Oh no, it was a mistake." She got her back covered. Number 3, the key thing here is this: she can now go to Thomas, right? She can now go to Thomas and be like, "Oh my God, like Thomas, I actually said all of this bad stuff about Clement. I said he's my number 2. I said this, that. And guess what? If Thomas goes and does research, guess what? The truth is she did say those things. So now if Thomas goes to Clement, we're like, yeah, she did say that. Yeah, she did say those things, right? Thomas has to believe her now. What he doesn't realize is he's been duped and conned, right? She purposely let that information slip to get rid of Clement, okay, and then also at the same time ensure her position with Thomas, because now she has to tell a funny story to Thomas. Thomas, I literally told another man that they're number 2 and you're my number 1. What if it's going to go through Thomas's mind? Oh, you think I'm stupid, Kim? I've been around the block. I've been around the world. I found my baby. I've been around the world. I think I found my baby. Baby, come on. I'm not born yesterday, bro. You know what I'm saying to you? I know these games. You understand? Yeah, you're competitive and you want to win. I see it, fam. I see the game, though. I mean, I'll explain that another time, though. Okay. So yeah, that was Kim, and that was also Thomas. Okay. And then so the political thing about Kim and Thomas is that woman just basically said, "Man the frick up. That boy is in danger." And I don't know how else to say it. She basically said that he's too emotional and he needs to man the frick up, blood. I don't know about you, but that's painful.
Does it stand out? When I do that, does it look good?
You're perfect.
Yeah, tattoos. Oh my God.
No, I don't want Netflix to come for me. You know how they're gonna get my neck. But so she said, listen, yeah, he's too emotional. I need him to, be strong, blah, 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 blah. I was like, sis, what's him being emotional got to him being strong? And the funny thing is, I spoke about this on TikTok today about men should be able to cry, and anything else is less than your standard. Why? Because your wife, your partner, your girlfriend should allow you to cry in their damn arms and not make you feel some type of way. You should be able to rest on her knee and she should stroke your back in your head and be like, babe, I've got you, and not think about it some way. But some people will feel some type of way because they themselves are uncomfortable with emotions. They themselves grew up in an environment where emotions were stifled. They do not have the capacity to be able to deal with emotional issues. When you are emotional, they categorize you as being weak and feminine, and that is unattractive to somebody like him, who's carrying a lot of trauma, I believe. Right? So that's gonna be a sticky situation, that one there, It's gonna be a sticky situation. Boy, oh boy, that's gonna be tough right there. I don't know how they're gonna make it, but boy, It's gonna be an interesting affair. Okay. Okay. Yes. This situation with Charles and okay, let me talk about this quickly. Julie, I need you to pack it in, Julie. I need Julie to pack it in by yesterday, and I need Sarah to pack it in since yesterday too. Okay, let me explain why I'm going to say this about both of them.
I had to take care of my little sister.
You went through tough times. You're amazing. You deserve to be happy.
Just the things I told him, I haven't told him to a lot of people.
Okay, let me tell you why they're going to pack it in. Okay, Julie needs to pack it in, and so does Sarah. Sarah gave him an ultimatum. Sarah, you're right. All this confidence that you had about you're like your number one babe, all of that confidence went out the window, and we went straight to an ultimatum. Okay, listen, I'm not saying that ultimatum is necessarily bad. I'm just saying it's a little bit early, sis. You didn't want to give man a look 1 day or two. Went straight for the ultimatum. Went straight for the jugular. Now, here's my thing. Do I think he will choose her? Probably not. Because you ultimated him. And probably for a lot of men, that would be frustrating and actually a turnoff, right? But Sarah was going on like she was top shooter, top striker, top sniper. And all of a sudden, a little bit of a wave, a little bit of a wind, she begins sinking in the water dams. I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Sarah, you told us that you're confident, you're this, you're that. You've always purported that, you're so well adjusted. And then suddenly this little bit of information, the wind is blowing a little bit and you're disorientated and disjointed. And now we're talking about ultimatums. I need to know you're my number one. I was like, baby, calm down. Okay, we just started this affair. Relax. Why are you jumping the gun too soon? Okay, now let's talk about Julie really quickly, because Julie, pack it in. I need Julie to pack it in since yesterday. Why? Because here's what's happening with Julie. Julie's issue is that in this scenario, Julie has not dealt with the issues as to what's made her, I'm going to say, quote unquote, hypersexual. She said that men leave her, or men only want sex from her previously. You know why that is, Julie? Because you lead with sex. All your questions about I thought about morning sex and and now they may be framing you in a particular character. Maybe that's not all you talk about, but they're framing you that way. We know that's not all you talk about, but in reality situations, they're framing that way because you use that as a way to actually, I guess, draw men in, have a connection, etc. But what you don't recognize is that if you're luring them in with the siren behavior, the sexual behavior, it doesn't last long. Oh, it will get them in. It just doesn't last long. And Julie here talking about sex again. I was like, baby, you just told us that men use it for sex. Why are we having a conversation about sex? Now I get it. Charles wants to be free. Because here's the thing about Sarah. I don't know why. She's a Muslim. So I don't know why she's going after this man. Is this man said he's a Muslim? I was like, baby girl, pack it in since yesterday. Pack that in since yesterday. Pack it in since yesterday. Because you don't told us you're a Muslim. I don't know how it's going to work if he's not a Muslim. Right? It's a no bueno, no go. Shut it down. Shut the operation down now. Press the stop button. Because what's going on? The factory line is messed up. Quality control is all over the place. Right? So we need to look at this and be serious. I'm not looking at like, yo, you're not being serious about your life, That the things that you're doing, so you're not being serious. Right? So for me, yeah, I saw that and I was like, Julie, no more sexual conversations, no more sexual jokes. I get it that you're free, but you being free is what's costing you, because every time you talk to somebody, I'm assuming that maybe in the past you talk to people and you start using sexual energy to draw them in. You've understood that it's an art of seduction, but what you haven't understood is longevity doesn't require sex. I'm not saying that sex isn't important, but longevity does not say that sex is the be all and end all, right? And it doesn't allow it to lead in what makes up a healthy relationship. So listen, I don't think I've got any more than that. You know what I'm saying to you? That was my list. I don't think I have any more than that. Right. Yeah, that's really about it, man. Okay, that's really about it. So hopefully Tatiana will go for Gillian as well. Gillian seems like a really cool guy as well. He seems to have a good shoulders in the head. So we'll see how that goes. But look, that's my review quickly of it. I'll probably do another part tomorrow as well. So I need to catch up. But I appreciate you guys. Still, we'll see you again soon. Much love.